Oleander. Oleander is one of the most poisonous plants on the planet, and there's a good chance it's sitting right outside your window looking absolutely beautiful. Picture this. You're at a garden center, you spot a stunning shrub with delicate pink or white flowers, and you think, perfect, that'll look great by the fence. What the label doesn't scream loud enough is that every single part of this plant, the leaves, the stems, the flowers, the roots, even the water it sits in, contains cardiac glycosides, chemicals that quite literally tell your heart to stop beating in an organized fashion. A single leaf can kill a child. Even burning oleander and breathing the smoke has sent people to the emergency room. The toxins disrupt the electrical signals in your heart, causing it to beat erratically and then not at all. Gardeners have died from using oleander branches as skewers for a backyard barbecue. Foxglove. Foxglove looks like something out of a fairy tale. Tall, elegant spires of purple and pink bell-shaped flowers that bees absolutely love. You've probably seen it in cottage gardens and romantic paintings. Here's the twist. It is the exact same plant that gave us digitalis, the heart medication, which tells you everything you need to know about the razor-thin line between medicine and poison. Eat enough foxglove, and those same compounds that in tiny controlled doses regulate a failing heart will, in your body, cause nausea, vomiting, severe confusion, and then flood your heart with so much electrical noise that it essentially short-circuits. Victims describe seeing halos around lights before their vision goes yellow-green, a phenomenon so well documented that historians believe it explains the strange color distortions in some of Van Gogh's most famous paintings. He reportedly drank foxglove tea for his epilepsy. Deadly nightshade, also called belladonna, is the plant that Renaissance women used to drip into their eyes to make their pupils appear larger and more attractive, which tells you two things. Humans have always been willing to do incredibly dangerous things for beauty, and this plant has a long and deeply unsettling history. The berries look like shiny black cherries, and they are sweet, which is nature's cruelest trick. Children are attracted to them instinctively. The toxins, atropine and scopolamine, hijack your nervous system by blocking the signals that tell your body to slow down. Your heart races, your mouth dries up completely, you lose the ability to sweat, meaning your internal temperature begins to climb dangerously, hallucinations follow, then seizures, then coma. The name belladonna literally means beautiful woman in Italian. It is anything but. Lily of the Valley. Lily of the Valley is perhaps the most deceiving entry on this list. Those tiny, white, bell-shaped flowers are so associated with purity and innocence that they've appeared in royal wedding bouquets, including Princess Diana's and Kate Middleton's. They smell extraordinary. They are a staple of every charming garden path. They are also loaded with over 30 different cardiac glycosides, and like oleander, they communicate to your heart in a language your heart cannot ignore. What makes Lily of the Valley particularly dangerous is that the water in a vase containing these flowers becomes toxic. There are documented cases of people dying from drinking that water thinking it was just regular flower water sitting on a table. Children and pets are especially vulnerable. The plant essentially looks harmless, smells wonderful, and will kill you efficiently. Poison hemlock. Poison hemlock is the plant that famously killed Socrates, and it grows abundantly in fields, roadsides, and yes, garden borders throughout much of the world. It looks almost identical to wild carrot or Queen Anne's lace, and that resemblance has caused accidental deaths throughout history well into the modern era. Foragers who thought they were collecting edible wild plants have died within hours. The toxin, coneine, works by slowly and methodically paralyzing your muscles from the bottom up. It starts in your feet and legs, creeping upward with terrifying patience, until it finally reaches your diaphragm, the muscle that controls your breathing, and stops it completely. Socrates' students described watching him walk around calmly discussing philosophy as his legs went numb beneath him. He remained completely conscious and mentally clear until the paralysis reached his chest. That detail never gets less disturbing. Monk's hood. Monkshood, also called wolfsbane or aconiton, is a stunning tall plant with deep purple hooded flowers that looks like it belongs in a sophisticated perennial border and has been used in elaborate gardens for centuries. It is also the fastest-acting plant poison there is. The toxin, aconitin, is so potent it can be absorbed directly through the skin. Simply handling the plant with bare hands for long enough can cause numbness, tingling, and cardiovascular effects. Ingest it, and the symptoms begin within minutes: a burning sensation in the mouth and throat, followed by numbness spreading across the body, then intense vomiting. Then the heart begins generating chaotic rhythms it was never designed to sustain. There's a reason it was called the queen of poisons throughout European history. A gardener in the UK died in 2009 simply from prolonged skin exposure while doing routine garden work. He was wearing gloves. They weren't thick enough. Angel's trumpet. Angel's trumpet is one of the most visually spectacular plants a garden can offer. Enormous hanging trumpet-shaped flowers in white, yellow, or peach, often a meter long, filling the evening air with a heavy, intoxicating fragrance. It is also completely saturated with tropane alkaloids, the same chemical family as belladonna, but in far greater concentrations. Every part is toxic. What makes Angel's trumpet particularly alarming is what it does to the human mind. People who accidentally ingest it, or in some cases simply spend too much time near it in an enclosed space breathing its scent, report vivid and terrifying hallucinations so realistic and all-consuming that they become completely indistinguishable from reality. But unlike a controlled psychedelic experience with a beginning and an end, Angel's trumpet intoxication can last for days, during which victims are often completely unaware of what is real. Combined with a racing heart, hyperthermia, and the inability to form memories, it has led to accidental drownings, falls, and deaths. Water hemlock. Water hemlock has been called the most violently toxic plant in North America. While its cousin poison hemlock kills you slowly and methodically, water hemlock is in a different category entirely. It grows near streams, ponds, and marshy areas, and its roots smell faintly of parsnip, which has led to fatal misidentification repeatedly throughout history. The toxin, toxin, is a violent convulsant. Within 15 minutes to an hour of ingestion, the victim enters grand mal seizures so intense and sustained that the physical trauma of the seizures themselves causes additional damage. The muscles tear, bones have been fractured by the force of the convulsions. Survivors of water hemlock poisoning, and there are very few, have described the experience as the most physically brutal thing a human body can endure. A single mouthful of the root is enough to kill an adult. The Manchineel tree. The Manchineel tree has been listed in the Guinness World Records as the most dangerous tree on Earth, and if you live in Florida or the Caribbean, there's a genuine chance you have walked past one. The fruit looks like a small green apple and smells pleasantly sweet. Eating it causes such severe burning and swelling in the mouth and throat that people have required hospitalization simply from tasting a small piece. But the fruit is arguably not the most dangerous part. Standing under the tree in the rain is enough. The rainwater picks up toxins from the leaves and drips onto skin, causing chemical burns. Burning the wood releases smoke that can cause temporary blindness and severe respiratory damage. Even resting against the bark has burned people's skin. The Spanish explorers who first encountered it called it the little apple of death. They were not being dramatic. Wisteria. And finally, wisteria. Those impossibly romantic, cascading purple flowers draped over pergolas in every aspirational garden photograph. The ones that smell like springtime and look like they belong in a Monet painting. Wisteria contains lectins and wisterin throughout the entire plant, with the seed pods and seeds being particularly concentrated. Children who eat the sweet-smelling seeds experience severe vomiting, stomach cramps, dizziness, and in larger quantities, collapse. What makes wisteria especially noteworthy is the sheer quantity of seeds a mature plant drops each year, and how aggressively it is planted in family gardens near children and pets. Wisteria poisoning is one of the most commonly reported plant poisoning incidents in countries where it is widely grown. It very rarely kills healthy adults, but it has hospitalized hundreds of children. It is beautiful, it is everywhere, and almost nobody who plants it knows.